Koriku, what's going on? 안녕, 로입니다.
Koriku, what's up? It's Nick.
I'm Keith.
Damn.
And I'm Curtis.
Few stiflers in the house, Corey. But no, you see it, your request. Soñashide, I got a boy. No long talk, let's get into it.
Put that smoke good on. It's him.
Yo, I'm here for Sunny.
Hey yo, GG.
You did it. It says him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, old ass some at that. Hey.
Alright, I'm here for this. Like that.
입은 야수 같은 기쁜 눈 얘기만 해도 어지른다니까 잘났어 정말 잘났어 정말 너 잘났다 너 잘났어 정말 Hey yo stop, let me put it down another way
The Gucci fit for you.
I got a boy 멋진 I got a boy 착한 I got a boy handsome boy 내 맘 다 가져간 I got a boy 멋진 I got a boy 착한 I got a boy awesome boy 완전 반했나 봐 내 왕자님 언제 이 몸을 바로 봐주실 텐가요 하얀 꽃처럼 내 품에 안아 올려 날아가주시겠죠 나 깜짝 멘붕이야 그 사람은 내내같이 궁금한데 완전 맘에 들어 내가 좀 보여줘도 괜찮을까 절대로 안 되지 이제 끝이 우리 지킬 건지 이제 마지막지 내 맘을 묻어갔을 때까지 이건 절대로 잊어버리지 말라고 밤새도 못 잘났다 우리 최고 관심사다 그 말 들어봐 그 아이 노래 알지 좀 어리지만 속은 꽉 찼어 어떨 땐 오빠처럼 듬직하지만 애교를 부를 때면 넌 예뻐 죽겠어 널 미쳤어 미쳤어 널 미쳤어 미쳤어
Probably.
난 정말 화가 죽겠어 내 남자 날 여자로 안 보일걸 막연할 땐 어떡하면 내게 좋겠니 질투라도 나게 해볼까 속상해 어떻게 널 말도 안돼 Don't stop, let's bring it back to 140 I got a boy 멋진 I got a boy 착한 I got a boy handsome boy 내 맘 다 가져간 I got a boy 멋진 I got a boy 착한 I got a boy awesome boy 완전 반했나 봐 언제나 내게 필요한 내 편이 돼주고 기기 울려주는 난 이대로 지금 해볼게 잘될 거야 멋진 I got a boy 착한 I got a boy handsome boy 내 맘 잘
That is a lot to unpack. It's like a bag of sugar. Like somebody just threw a bag of sugar.
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
Like
Yeah,
somebody
it's
just
a-
took a bag of pink dyed sugar and hit me with it. Like, got a boy.
Nah, let's.
Like, hey guys, what was?
Well, I'll get the good out the way. It's SM. So as far as like the vocal talent and just like talent in general, it's apparent here. Like you can hear like the vocals and want a little bit more out of them, but
Especially
due to
Taeyeon, yeah.
but due to the production and the cutesy vibe of the song, it kind of holds certain things like just kind of holds certain vocal keys back a little bit. The choreography was like fun and cute. Like this is a fun, cutesy video. What I will say is I think the essence of this video and this vibe is what most people think K-pop just is.
Took them words out my mouth.
Not like songs like this are bad, like not connotation, but
no,
like,
I know exactly.
like
what
you know what I mean, like, and I mean that like in the most like respectful way, because I don't think nothing was wrong with this song in a sense like this is a bad song or anything. I actually think like it's really decent, it's upbeat, it's cute, and like I said, you can hear
For its target demographic,
for the target demo,
This got 255 million views.
So people obviously, you know what I mean, like I know love this group and you know we're clamoring to it, but that kind of was in the back of my head the whole time. Honestly, watching this is what people think K-pop just is, and this is why some people might kind of shy away from it
and be like, "Yo, y'all listen to K-pop? Or you listen to K-pop?"
Yeah, exactly. When you tell people you listen to K-pop, it'll be kind of like, oh, like this is what you listen to. And to be honest, yes, I actually do love cutesy tracks that are like this. I like them in doses though. Right. It's not something that I kind of like. My K playlist might have like 3 or 4 of these kind of sprinkled in throughout 400 songs, and like you know what I mean. I can't do this back to back to back to back where
Can't
it feels
do the whole
like
bag of sugar,
I'm gonna feel like Mojo Jojo getting beat up by the Powerpuff Girls. Like,
Something gotta change.
but nah, like I said, all that to say, I kind of wanted to open the floor with that to kind of get y'all thoughts on it. And before I introduced y'all to K-pop, is this kind of what y'all thought K-pop just was?
Yes. Super energetic,
Same with you, Kurt?
not
necessarily for me, but I
the
did.
Kennels,
It
not
was
the
kind of
Kennels.
the easiest to latch onto. Like I didn't have an image to attach to
Oh,
that,
okay.
but this was kind of an image that felt more in line or more, yeah, I guess more in line with something like that. But I keep an open mind and in general. So
Did you too, Keith?
Yes and no. Like I said, even before, like I kind of got reintroduced to it by you. I kind of heard some things, but it was to this extent. Some of the things that I did hear, it was kind of like to look at them. I'm not going to go into it, man. I'll save that for my time on the mic. But like, when's the last time you seen girls dressed like that though? The bandana with the cap on, like no. But see, like
No, when theirs was like
this
fucking
is like
bedazzled,
2000 Jenny from the block
cheetah
type
print.
joint. You know what I mean? Like,
Nah.
Yeah. I don't know
like
why
Skater
J-Lo
Girl
definitely
kinda look.
stuck out. I don't know why I thought of J-Lo. I don't know who did the first walkout, and I thought of like a J-Lo
It
leg.
gives you J-Lo vibe.
This gives
Love
me.
don't cost a thing. And
This
shit.
is like post high school era for me. So, but there was a time girls was like hella accessories and like a lot of stuff going on.
It's like High School Musical.
Yeah, it reminds
but
me
they've
of
been in the
that.
last 10 years, right?
Remember what I said? I feel like the early
at
80s is the worst dressed era.
That look
ever.
might have
you
spent
said
the block.
early 80s?
Yes, like I feel like that's
Yeah.
the worst dress era ever,
Men
just
wearing
because they threw
fishnet
on a whole
shirts.
bunch of stuff and it was just a whole lot of shit, just like kind of thrown together during that time. This I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this time and where in my generation was kind of like that. But anyway, to get back to the song and everything like that, as Tiffany goes off.
They all look like Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
Tiffany and Sonny are definitely my biases from this group. Taeyeon is.
Have we
probably
ever done
the
this
vocal.
group before?
Yeah, we did. The one song that we did was actually kind of hot.
We did
The
the
one
joint.
when they was in like the construction yard or whatever.
We did one joint that was. I think we did. I feel like we did too. But the one joint I
we did,
remember.
yeah, we did too. But
The one joint I remember from them was fire.
yeah,
Was I there that day? Or did I call out sick? Like,
I don't know.
probably use a sick day. But nah, man,
Don't look
this
like
is
that,
definitely the what I thought the essence of K-pop was, and this is what I still think people think of the term K-pop, or the culture of K-pop, this still kind of is it. Like I said, a bunch of different music styles kind of incongruently put together, and just kind of like a showcase for talent as opposed to making music. But I think that's where the third and fourth generations came in and took it different places. Well, Big Bang was a part of their timeline too, and they changed it. They laid the groundwork to kind of change that. But I look at SM. Every label has their thing, what they do. SM has like the greatest collection of talent, and they, instead of putting together kind of albums where you tell stories, learn about the people personally, they stick to Lee Soo-man's credo in his system and just kind of showcase talent. It's like, look, we have the most talented, we had the greatest collection of talent. We're just going to showcase the talent as opposed to cultivating talent and letting it grow and everything like that. And, you know, some people might feel a way about that, but I think kind of the proof's in the pudding with that. And I mean, it's worked for them for the most part. I don't think, maybe EXO. EXO is a little different.
I would say I would want the Redeemers to jump in the comments.
I'm just saying, like, as far as overall, that's what they do, is showcase the talent. That's why the songs are kind of like...
I'll give credit where credit is due. Even though aespa's brand new, they have storylines.
No, remember, that's what I'm saying. This is second gen.
Yeah.
That's why I said the third and fourth gen have taken it like different places.
Oh, I don't know enough about Super Junior to know what CDs would like. That's why I said I would ask them. But I get what you're saying. Collectively, off of the data that we have, we just have looked at.
From what I get with SM's model and how they put out the artists, how they promote them, it's not to give you the typical music experience you're used to with an artist.
They're Gen 2?
Huh?
They're Gen 2 group?
Second gen,
They're
yeah.
second gen.
So they're older.
Yeah, they grown. They grown.
This song is like 2013, I think it said.
Okay, so the song is not older. Okay, cool. Got it.
Yeah, this is a while back. But
No. They still in his pocket?
Nah. But and that's why I say it's changed so much since then that even with SM they had to kind of change what they were doing. So now artists do get the albums. You get Taemin having his series of albums and everything like that.
Because that's where I was going.
Yeah.
That's where I was going to go next. Where maybe solo work is different because Taemin for sure is telling stories. The stuff that we seen on Kai album looked like he was telling a legit story. Lay and them seem like they're telling stories and stuff like that. So I definitely agree with you. But I just wanted a little feedback from them with shit we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think SM is like they're like kind of like I said, the showcase label where we got all of this talent. You're gonna see it. You're gonna get all the things that we've put into K-pop. They're gonna do it. It's the black and white of it all.
Which is a gift and a curse because it's almost like having the Avengers, but they don't never fight a big bad.
Yeah,
it's no storyline. They just kind of
taking care of.
You just see them do their powers. You just see them,
and they trash Mo Man, but it's like they don't ever get to fight like a Thanos.
Come back next week.
It's never no Thanos. It's never no thing like that. It's just kind of like you just see them doing their powers, like exhibitions, kind of. Whereas like YG, we're known for like innovating, taking risks, going different routes and everything like that. JYP is another one. They're kind of like tried and true, working with their artists and stuff like that. And just totally like different in between what YG and SM does. And then of course now we have Big Hit, which I don't call them the Big Four because I think Big Hit took a totally different route. So I wouldn't put that with that.
I think they over everybody as far as like.
I'll say, and I actually spoke to some Korean people about this who were like into it, and they were like, the reason the Big Three is not because of monetary success, but more so the foundation.
I think the foundation of K-pop.
Yeah, just building everything, and that's why they're the Big Three. You know what I'm saying, like that. Obviously, Hive has become a giant
conglomerate.
Yeah. So you kind of want to see what happens with that. But like I said, also just tying it back to my point, this song, it was a lot going on. This might be the most a lot going on song that we've ever reviewed on here.
That's why it's funny. We just did the John, and y'all was like, it kind of was a lot.
I thought the video, I thought the song, like I said, the song just didn't grab me. The video was cool, but it was just so much. This is
I literally was only catching the chorus because the chorus was "I got a boy." Mm-hmm. So sometimes it was kind of.
Yo, she said, "Let's switch it back to 140
Let's switch
BPMs."
it back to 140.
Like, that already tells you kind of where they're going with this, and then you kind of, like I said, you had I think that was a Tiffany solo and everything like that. You really just have a lot going on, and it's interesting when you see the girls these days who be like, "Yo, Girls' Generation inspired me so much." Like Dami from Dreamcatcher. Also, feel better, Dami. She has COVID. She's like, "Yo, this is my favorite group." When I think she saw Tiffany and she was like going to get an autograph and all that shit. And she does nothing like this, except when they were mixed. But like they don't do anything like close to this sound or whatever like that.
But that's why, bro. Like this shit is like, remember how I hate to keep comparing and stuff. How we just was talking about Lisa, and we was talking about like her rapping ability and how like stuff kind of comes off natural. Yeah. It is funny like being at a time like this where you like, "Yo, girls, let's kick it. Yeah. We about to slide." And it's just like, are we?
We're about to step on these busters.
We're about to step on these marks.
But see, that's what my thing has always been like authenticity. Like, you know, how authentic is it to the artists that they're making music like this at the time that they're making this music?
Maybe it was, and maybe it's just them. We all got homies that talk, you know, and not proper, but like homies that talk a certain way, and it's kind of just them. You know what I mean?
I think with them though, we know what this is. This is SM.
Someone be like,
yeah.
I'm gonna slide on that joint.
You're gonna go up in her DMs.
Yeah, my part is rap.
How you feel, Kurt?
No, the song was a lot to kind of unpack for sure. I did like a lot of, like, for example, like they did switch it up a lot. I think I almost stopped counting after like it felt like what 5 beat switches or something or 5.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, 5 easily kind of different segments of the production and everything. So I can definitely understand some perhaps feeling that it may have been a little overproduced in that regard. And maybe, again, not being around at the time to kind of say what, the temperature was or anything like that. This might have been something that was like, nah, this really showcased they can do everything as opposed to, so it really all just is open to interpretation at that point. But with the subject matter of the song, like I did think there were a lot of cool elements within it, though overall I don't necessarily feel like it's personally for me as far as, the target audience and everything like that. But the things that I did appreciate it within it were, for one, that whole opening sequence I thought was done really well, as far as the camera kind of sliding around using the edge of the brick walls, like the match cut kind of. And it was basically, it had the girls kind of basically being in like their comfort state, amongst their friends and everything. And then basically they kind of make it as though like, some sort of, danger or intruder of some sorts is at the door. And it's just a guy, but it's basically all that to say kind of how that throws off their state of being, how they have to kind of switch and they're not allowed to quite, be themselves as though it seems. So I thought that was a great way to kind of visually, communicate some of those aspects. And also in a humorous way as well. And then basically one of the things I did definitely like about the song too was kind of, it seems to talk about the whole aspect of kind of falling for someone or having a crush on someone, but it does it in like 3 or 4 different facets, where it's like with my friends, like, oh, did she change your hair? It kind of talks about and stuff like that, where it's like, are you is someone around me in my friend circle kind of changing themselves to fit this narrative for this person that they're falling for. But then as the song goes on, it gets to the point where they themselves are kind of the ones falling in love, and you kind of see how that sequence changes. So I did like the storytelling aspects in that regard. But it does get to a point where it's like basically almost as though you kind of won them or got their attention, so to speak. And it's like, oh, now they want to see me without makeup. So it's like, how do they, is this my real self still? So I think they did a really great job of kind of conveying the story aspects of what it's like kind of falling in love and how you see it, or even just having a crush on someone, and kind of having it from, their perspective versus your friend's perspective versus, kind of what the situation is as a whole. So maybe all those aspects of the story are kind of what motivated the production to switch up as much as it did until you finally get to that solo bridge at the end, which I thought, the vocals within that were done really well. The register and the BPM and the kind of cutesy vibe of it isn't something that's personally for me, but I can definitely see a lot to appreciate it within this from those aspects as far as, what kind of impact this must have had, especially in second gen and clearly going forward. But yeah, that's basically my spiel.
I thought the video was cool. Actually, no. it lost me in the first two in the intro. Well, the second intro. Changing beats within like the first 10 seconds of the song twice. To have a 15-minute beat drop, or not a 15-second beat drop, just for you to change the beat again, to go to something different, to come back to it. Honestly, they should have stayed in the 140. The 140 was the sweet spot. Like that was the sweet spot. Everything else,
bring that shit back.
everything else outside of that was just unnecessary, completely unnecessary. I don't think it helped the song. I don't think it helped the video. I don't think it helped anything. And I don't even think if you were outside at this time, this would have oh yo, they heard the beat. No, I just think this was a wrong approach for the song. I'm not a fan of all of that because some of the beat changes weren't even on beat, and like they didn't even go into a beat that made sense. It was just for the sake of, like, we do it because we can. It was so weird that I thought this was like an album sampler, like kind of what we did with Kai, where we just got all his songs just in a different thing. Because like even the scenery changed for each and every one, so it wasn't like they were staying with the same setting. Like it was. All in all, I did like the 140 beat. It was very well done. And there were changes in that, progressions in that beat that were also very nice. Where you still had changes and you still showed different pace and progression that didn't need to be so drastic. I like it, but it's kind of like exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's definitely one of those things where Redeemers, if y'all were outside, let us know like what the temperature was. To have over 200 milli views says like a lot. So obviously it must have been some rewatchability value, or people definitely were coming back to this well for, you know, for whatever they wanted to, you know what I mean, come back for. So, you know, I get that we're not the demo.
No,
so,
yeah, that's what I was
Or
gonna say.
what was the reputation? Not reputation, representation like at that time. Like there might not have been a whole lot of representation for, because I mean they are Gen 2.
Yeah.
So
it was skated. Remember how I was saying on the other video, like let's just say if it was 100 groups out in 2013 and 20 of them were popular or mainstream, now today is probably 100 popular groups alone. Probably over 2,000 K-pop groups or something, maybe inside of South Korea. So it's like you said, the landscape.
Well,
it's a little harder to go
even-
get some soda. You know what I mean? When it's all of options.
Even when we were checking out, the Rise episode, and that was one of the things that they were talking about that, and not making this about BTS, but just a commentary on what was so special about that aspect was simply that people had said it was hard for a lot of groups. I forget exactly what the percentage was, and I don't want to misspeak on that. But basically that a large percentage of groups didn't even make it past the first year. So even if you're looking at that sample size of there being, perhaps 100 groups back then, how many would have lasted beyond a year or two?
Most groups
It
didn't
just,
make it to the to the end
yeah,
of
so
their
I can
contract.
definitely understand perhaps if this was, again, as you had said, like a sound for people who didn't quite have that sound at the time. But yeah, that's all speculation at this point, at least from our perspective.
I think, like you said, the representation, just seeing somebody kind of doing something, dressing different and everything like that. Because when you listen to G-Dragon's music and everything like that, it's actually, some of it is something that I think Big Bang is one thing, and I think G-Dragon's music is totally fucking different from like what he does when he collaborates
Within
with
that
the
group.
I want to
or
say,
with his
I almost
brothers.
want to say the same thing about Top, though.
That
I think Top music is different
The
than.
only ones whose music is kind of similar is Taeyong, is because he's the main vocal of the group, so it's going to kind of
he
be
stayed
in the
within
same-
his wheelhouse. a
Yeah,
little bit.
but he executed shit. He won Artist of the Year, so matter of fact, Big Bang the only group that can ever say that they all won Artist of the Year as a group, and two members won Artist of the Year separately outside the group. So that whole time of like you said, representation.
We're gonna find out in a year or two.
What?
There we go.
If someone can, if another group can say the same thing.
Cool. I hope you're cool with our reaction.
Shout out to the one in the Batman shirt
Yeah,
too, by the
we
way.
love you. Shout out to Tiffany and Sunny, by the way.
But yeah, we had fun with this. So, like I said, let me go get some of this sugar off of me. Sparkles and glitter. Sugar spice, everything nice.
I still got some diabetes pills if you want some.
Hope I ain't that far.
Damn.
I might be half past. But Corey Cool, thanks for the reaction. Don't stop requesting. Don't stop believing. Don't stop redeeming.
All right, Journey.
We'll see you. Bro, I'm trying to get it. But we'll see you next time.
Love y'all. Take care.
Don't stop redeeming.
Don't stop believing.